Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were all smiles as they attended SNL's 50th anniversary special, all amid the "it ends with this" lawsuit. And I don't think this is helping the public's opinion about them. Now, they were most likely invited to the event because they are A-listers, and a lot of A-listers attended this SNL special. It's just interesting because Blake Lively's suit against Justin Baldoni is for alleged emotional distress and mental anguish. And it also doesn't help that Ryan Reynolds joked about the lawsuit without naming it. Here's the clip from the moment, and try to also pay attention to Blake Lively's reaction.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
I don't know, what do you guys think? Because to me, as if I were a PR specialist, this seemed like not the right move to make. I don't understand the thought process in showing up and acting like you're not in the middle of a $400 million lawsuit against your former co-star. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson was at the SNL 50th anniversary special to support her husband, Colin Jost. Now, I mean, it's been like 10 years since they were married. They divorced, I believe, in 2011, so it's been a long time. I don't think it's as awkward as it is for all of us to see. Just so crazy because these two are in the middle of a massive lawsuit. Now, for those who aren't aware, Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson were married from 2008 to 2011. Ryan was romantically linked to Blake Lively just a couple months after finalizing his divorce with Scarlett Johansson. And that was so crazy because Blake Lively was his Green Lantern co-star. But honestly, I think the bigger story was these two showing up in the middle of this massive lawsuit, smiling, looking happy as if there was nothing going on. Mauricio Umansky is on the mend after having a metal plate and 12 screws fitted during surgery after breaking his clavicle in a ski accident over the weekend. I'm Garcelle Dashty. If you love Bravo as much as I do, hit the follow button for more stories. Now, this all happened in Aspen, Colorado. He posted about the accident yesterday, revealing in an Instagram post that he'd undergone surgery following the accident and had to have a metal plate put in as well as 12 screws. He first posted this Instagram story saying, "I feel so blessed to be taken care of by such amazing humans. Ski Patrol, paramedics, Aspen Hospital, you're all the best, broken clavicle." He also shared an x-ray of the injury to his Instagram stories. In an Instagram post, he wrote, "Thank you to everyone who's reached out. I have felt so much love and support. I had surgery on my clavicle. It was a clean break, but required a metal plate and 12 screws. I expect a speedy recovery. The doctors and nurses at Aspen Valley Hospital are the best. I was wearing a helmet and that for sure saved me." Wait, what? Summer House newbie Lexi Wood dated Nepo babies Brooklyn Beckham and Presley Gerber. I'm Garcelle Dashty. If you love all things Bravo like I do, hit the follow button for more stories. I was looking into the new Summer House girls and I saw this article from Page 6 from last summer that talked about how she dated Brooklyn and Presley. In 2018, Lexi was spotted kissing Brooklyn at a tattoo parlor in LA, which made headlines because Brooklyn was dating Chloe Grace Moretz at the time. So basically, she was like the other woman in this fling relationship, whatever it was. Then 4 years later, she went Instagram official with Cindy Crawford's son, Presley Gerber. In November 2022, she shared a post with her Instagram followers basically making their relationship official, writing, "I always told you guys that when I was in love that I would share it, and we've arrived. Your girl is in love with this guy." And then just days later, they made their red carpet debut, attending an event in Malibu, California with Presley's parents, Rand Gerber and Cindy Crawford. But their relationship was short-lived because 1 month later, they called it quits. So yeah, she's got an interesting past. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's correct. Justin Baldoni's production company, Wayfarer Studios, is one of 5 production companies that's going to be producing the movie that Scarlett Johansson is having her directorial debut in. The movie is called Eleanor the Great, and as you can see right here, Wayfarer Studios is one of 5 production companies producing this film. This is a little snippet of an article from Variety that was published in February 2024 that said Wayfarer Studios co-financed the film with content engineers Pinky Promise and MacPack, which are those other production companies. Steve Sarowitz, Justin Baldoni, and Jamie Heath, whose names we know very well from the lawsuit, are executive producing for Wayfarer Studios. And yeah, this is just obviously a crazy coincidence. It's also important to note that it's not like they're going to be working one-on-one on this film. Justin Baldoni is one of 13 executive producers. It's just crazy timing. The Real Housewives of New Jersey season 15 cast has been revealed, and it looks like they're keeping some of the old cast and firing some of the others. I'm Kajal Dashti. If you love all things Bravo like I do, hit the follow button for more stories. The 3 women Bravo has kept engaged are Melissa Gorga, Teresa Giudice, and Dolores Catania. The other women, Margaret Josephs, Danielle Cabral, and Rachel Fuda, were not given retention notices, and at this time, Bravo is not pursuing them for a spot on Real Housewives of New Jersey or any other side projects. And apparently Rachel Fuda was a strong contender to return, but her husband stood in the way. Bravo found her husband difficult to deal with behind the scenes and didn't feel it was worth the headache. While no official decisions have been made on Real Housewives of New Jersey, the insider explained what they believe will happen with the 3 women. The insider said, as far as where the women will wind up at this point, it's looking like Real Housewives of New Jersey will be led by Melissa and Dolores, and Teresa will be given a spinoff. While fans still want to likely see both Melissa and Teresa on Real Housewives of New Jersey, there just isn't a world where that has any chance of happening due to where things stood last season and continue to stand today. Kim D also confirmed the news about Melissa, Teresa, and Dolores being kept by Bravo, while she noted all of the women on the cast were technically let go due to it being 6 months since they wrapped any filming related to Real Housewives of New Jersey. She confirmed the network gave letters to the 3 women to keep them engaged as a token of good faith. I will say, I think it was smart of the network to keep a couple or a few of the ladies from the previous seasons because it makes it easier than just doing a full reboot where you don't know any of the ladies and you're basically starting from scratch. This way we at least know some of the women going in, and then maybe it's going to build up around their friend circles, which honestly New Jersey needed it at this point. And honestly, I think choosing these 3 ladies was such a smart decision by the network because they're the 3 that keep us the most engaged. What do you guys think? Are you happy with the network's decision? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Wendy deserves so much better than a friendship with Karen Huger. Like, truly, Wendy went to bat all season for Karen, only for Karen to record this really awkward thank you message to almost everyone on the cast except for Wendy. I'm Kajal Dashti. If you love all things Bravo like me, hit the follow button for more stories. It was like pouring salt in the wound because Wendy went into this reunion knowing that this entire season, Karen has been speaking poorly about her to Stacey. That's why I'm so happy Wendy clocked it and said, that is not my friend. Also, this may be Giselle's best reunion, not only her best dress reunion, but she's like participating. Dropping the hint that Stacey may be dropping a gardening company that competes with Wendy's husband's company, Happy Eddie, was, ooh, the tea is piping. Because when Giselle was like, just wait till next season, Wendy, just wait till she drops it next season, I was just like, oh my goodness, I need next season to drop already. Yeah, I gotta say, part 1 of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion absolutely gave. I cannot wait for part 2, and don't even get me started on the Mia part of it because her trip, her Florida-Miami trip debacle just sounds crazy. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Brandon Sklenar, the guy who played Atlas in It Ends With Us, is finally commenting about the whole drama and lawsuits surrounding the film's 2 leading characters. I'm Kajal Dashti. If you love pop culture news, hit the follow button for more stories. He went on CBS this morning with Gayle King, who asked him if he was Team Justin or Team Blake. And let me just say, the answer he gave, while great, kind of contradicts the whole press tour he did with Blake Lively leading up to the film's release.
Also, the last time you were talking about the movie It Ends With Us, which has turned into a big major story between Blake and Justin. I'm wondering how what you're thinking about that, processing it, navigating it. It doesn't involve you, but because you're in the cast, I'm wondering what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to remember why we made the movie in the first place and what it stands for, and just keeping the focus on that. Like that movie meant so much to me, and I have someone very, very close to me in my life who's gone through what Lily's going through for a long time, and I've been on the front lines helping her navigate that space. So that movie meant a lot to me. Yeah. And it means a lot to her, this person in my life. And it was one of the reasons that me doing that film gave her the strength to change her life. So like,
You stay focused on that.
yeah, it means a lot to me. So it's unfortunate that things get taken away from what the ethos of that thing is, and it gets convoluted. And I just want to remind people of why that thing exists in the first place.
Now, why didn't we get more of those responses in these interviews? Or this interview where Blake was like asked about if somebody came up to her in the streets and asked her about DV, what would she do? She'd be like, well, do you want me to share my phone, my address, my location? And he's just sitting there laughing. Honestly, I think Brandon and a lot of the cast, even Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, played into Blake Lively's hands so bad because she's the bigger celebrity. And with a bigger celebrity probably comes more opportunities, and it was all just business, even if it meant tanking somebody else's reputation. What do you guys think about his interview on CBS this morning? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. According to Blake Lively, there were also other people uncomfortable on the set of It Ends With Us. At least that's what she's saying in her amended complaint that dropped really late last night. I'm Garcelle Dashi. If you want to stay updated with the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni drama, hit the follow button. Yeah, in Blake's new court filing, she says that Justin Baldoni not only SH'd her, but also made 2 other women feel uncomfortable on the set of It Ends With Us. And both women are willing to testify against him at trial. The amended complaint is 141 pages, and Blake says she was not alone in complaining about Justin and raising concerns about his behavior during their work together on the movie produced by Sony and Wayfair starting in 2023. Blake says Justin acknowledged the complaints in writing at the time, which runs contrary to his current narrative that he has quote-unquote invented. Blake says Justin knew that women other than Miss Lively were also uncomfortable and had complained about his behavior. Blake also claims the women, who are unnamed in the amended complaint, gave Blake permission to share the substance of their communications, and they will testify and produce responsive documents in the discovery process. In addition, Blake claims a female cast member reported her concerns to Sony's RHONJ Giannetti and a producer on the film after Blake had already aired her grievances to film executives. According to Blake, the female cast member had strong reservations about coming forward, but she did anyways because she felt the movie was, quote, suffering as a result of Justin's behavior. And then according to Blake, that Sony executives shared those concerns with Wayfair. On top of that, Blake's attorneys have added a defamation claim to the amended complaint, accusing Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, of making quote-unquote inflammatory content to media outlets, while saying anything, whether true or false, that will harm Blake's credibility and intimidate others from speaking up on her behalf. Blake says Justin wrote in an email to the female cast member that, quote, he was aware of her concerns and that adjustments would be made, but Wayfair took no actions to investigate this reported conduct, nor did it implement any protections at that time. I'm curious if this email is in the amended complaint because so far a lot of her stuff has lacked the proof that his lawsuit has. Blake says the same cast member even expressed concerns to her about the conditions on set, saying it was really hard to speak with Justin. Blake goes on to say that another female cast member confided to her that she felt uneasy on set, and her concerns were also documented in writing nearly a year before editing on the film had started. The way this is evolving, there is no way this is not going to trial, because neither side is backing down on what they all believe to be true. I'm going to start reading the amended complaint. I'm curious if there's going to be any, proof or evidence backing what they're saying, because again, Justin's lawsuit was a lot stronger because of that. If there's anything interesting, I'll share, but if you'd like me to read the whole complaint to you, let me know in the comments and I will try to get that done. Is Garcelle Sutton's spokesperson? That's what the conversation was about in last night's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and honestly, it made for a great episode. I'm Garcelle Dashi. If you love Bravo like I do, hit the follow button for more. The ladies were all at Dorit's home celebrating 4th of July in her backyard by her pool, and honestly, Sutton from the start did not want to be there. She sat downstairs waiting for Dorit for almost 30 minutes while she was deciding what jewelry to put on, and Sutton was just sitting down there whispering, oh, I really don't want to be here right now, but I'm here. And then when Dorit finally came down, when Kyle came over, she kind of just shaded Sutton and kind of ignored her. And then at one point tried to take her mini Kelly bag from her and said, the least you could do is give me your Kelly. And it was a really awkward interaction. The tension really escalated between Dorit and Sutton when Garcelle asked Sutton what she was drinking, and Dorit kind of alluded to Sutton having drinking problems again. Which Sutton was like, oh, Dorit, shut up, you're such a bitch. And then Dorit's like, you cannot call me a bitch in my own home. And then that pissed off Sutton. So Sutton was like, well, then I'm leaving. So she gets up to leave. Garcelle and Kyle both follow Sutton to try to convince her not to leave the party, which hadn't even started yet. And when Bose arrives, she notices that all the ladies are congregating at the front of the house while Dorit is in the backyard enjoying her party by herself with, other friends that were there. And she's like, well, it's kind of rude for you guys to all be congregating here. And then Garcelle's like, who are you, Dorit's spokesperson? Which is why everyone's like, well, that's rich when you're the one always sticking up for Sutton and kind of being Sutton's spokesperson. And honestly, the opinions online are all over the place. And I can see both sides of it. Is Bose being Dorit's spokesperson a little too soon? Yeah, kind of. They just met each other, but of course, she just wants to be a friend to Dorit, and they do seem to have a really good bond. While a lot of the other arguments I'm seeing are people saying, yeah, Garcelle is Sutton's spokesperson, but they've known each other for years, so it's not as weird, and they've known each other for a long time. I will say, Dorit's comments to Sutton being the host of the party was not okay. But is Garcelle Sutton's spokesperson? I mean, yeah, a lot of the time she is. She has to swoop in to clean up like the mistakes and the gaffes that Sutton makes all the time. And I'm a slutton for Sutton, so I mean, I'm a fan of her. She was kind of annoying me last night. Because I mean, she will make rules for other people like you shouldn't storm out of people's parties, and then there she goes storming out of a party. But do I think Bose is Dorit's spokesperson? I personally don't think so. I just think she's trying to be a friend to Dorit, who clearly was having a tough year going through her separation with PK. What do you guys think? Is Garcelle Sutton's spokesperson? Is Bose Dorit's spokesperson? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Justin Baldoni's attorney's wasting no time responding to Blake Lively's amended complaint, saying, "Girl, where is the evidence?" Brian Friedman told TMZ he found Blake's amended lawsuit filed late last night underwhelming when it comes to any new facts or anything damning against his client. He said the suit's filled with substantial hearsay of unnamed persons who are clearly no longer willing to come forward or publicly support her claims. He adds that his clients, Justin, his publicist, and Wayfarer Studios, have been transparent in providing receipts, real-time documents, and videos showing a completely different story than what's been manipulated and cherry-picked to the media. Justin's lawyer also referenced Blake and Ryan Reynolds going to the SNL 50 event last weekend, saying, "Our clients have taken this matter and these issues very seriously, notwithstanding the jokes made publicly by the plaintiff and her husband." For those who need a refresher, this is the joke Brian Friedman is talking about.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey, hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
In Blake's new amended complaint, she says that there are 2 other women from the set of It Ends With Us who were uncomfortable with Justin's behavior and reported that to the executives at Sony, which distributed the film. Blake also says those 2 women, unnamed at this point, are willing to share documents and testify in court. But Justin's attorney's not worried because he says since documents do not lie and people do, the upcoming depositions of those who initially supported Miss Lively's false claims and those who are witnesses to her own behavior will be enlightening. What is truly uncomfortable here is Miss Lively's lack of actual evidence, which Blake and her lawyers do say themselves in the amended complaint that they didn't include any evidence. Right here on page 6 of the complaint, they write, "This amended complaint does not refer to certain witnesses by name, nor does it provide screenshots of their text messages. Importantly, however, these witnesses have given Miss Lively permission to share the substance of their communications in this amendment complaint as contained herein, and they will testify and produce responsive documents in the discovery process." Which is why Justin Baldoni's lawyer is saying this is just hearsay, because this is all just a he said, she said. There is no factual evidence being produced with the claims that they're making. What do you guys think about his response? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Lady Gaga did a lie detector test for Vanity Fair, and turns out she's a big Vanderpump Rules fan. She was asked her thoughts on the reboot and which cast member she's going to miss the most.
Be honest, are you excited about a whole new cast for Vanderpump Rules?
No. Yes? No.
Inconclusive.
Oh.
Who will you miss most from the original cast?
Sheena.
Has anybody checked on Sheena Shea? No, but really, she's going to be so excited that Mother Monster basically gave her the stamp of approval. Maybe Sheena could be in her next music video. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Shep's ex, Sienna, is debunking the rumors that she used Shep to get on Southern Charm. She says she's posting a multi-part series where she's going to explain how she met Shep and kind of like dispelling the rumors that she reached out to Whitney first. And y'all, she's got proof. I'm gonna play you both videos. First, the one where she explains how she met Shep and how she actually received a DM from Whitney first, and then followed by the video where she shows the receipts and proof to back it all up.
So Shep and I did meet on Raya, and at the time, his profile, it just made him look like a Southern boy who liked to fish. And he messaged me and he was like, "Oh, you're from the Bahamas. Like, I always go to the Bahamas. I love the Bahamas." And then I was like, "Oh, like, he's cute or whatever." And that's how we met. And then he followed me on Instagram, and we started talking on Instagram, and that's kind of how things started. But yeah, that's how we met. And I want to first start by dispelling this whole me reaching out to Whitney on Raya thing, because that was super off the wall. Whitney direct requested me. So if on a dating app, if you have your regular connections that you can either like connect or reject, he wasn't even a connection of mine. He direct requested me and said, "Hi, how are you?" And I answered, "I'm good, how are you?" That is the extent of the communication I had with Whitney. First of all. Second of all, when I eventually made it up to Charleston and I did meet him, I did not recognize him, nor did I even remember that we had matched or had a conversation before. It was Shep who said, "Oh, Whitney says that he matched with you and Raya." And then I looked on my messages and I was like, oh, he's a catfish because he looks nothing like this in real life. So yeah, that is how we met. And that is, first me dispelling this whole thing with me reaching out to Whitney to be on the show or whatever. That is totally untrue. If you want the receipts, here's the receipts. I am not a liar. If I messaged him first, I would say I messaged him first. That was not the case. He direct requested me. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. He direct requested me March 20th, 2023. "Hi, how are you?" "I'm good, how are you?" That was the extent of the communication we had. I did not know who he was. When I met him, I did not recognize him. And to be quite honest, I didn't even know he was a producer of Southern Charm because I didn't find out about the show until after Shep and I were already in conversation.
Yes, Sienna's grandmother is the president of a Southern Charm fan club in the Bahamas, and she actually got into that last night. Before she got into part 3, talking about how her grandmother is the president of this fan club, she said how she met Shep, and when she met Shep, she didn't know anything about the show Southern Charm and that she'd never watched an episode. And her grandmother, who happened to be single at the time she met Shep, was also on dating apps just like her, and they were divulging to each other about the people they met on their dating app. And when she showed a picture of Shep to her grandmother, that's when her grandmother was like, "Oh my gosh, that's Shep from Southern Charm." And of course, by then, Sienna had been talking to Shep for long enough to know that he was on a reality show. But here's part 3 where she explains it.
Part 3. So this part, I really want to clear up the whole my grandma situation. My poor granny, oh my gosh, she means so well. And I love her so much. But yeah, she is a fan of the show. Now, because she watched the show, does that mean that I was aware of the show or the characters of the show? No, I don't think anybody knows what shows their grandparents watch and are familiar with all of the characters. I would be surprised by that. How I made the connection with her, she made the connection with me, with Shep being on the show. Shep and I were already on speaking terms. We were already calling each other on the phone. We started talking to each other on the phone, like after I was in Hawaii. And so I go to her house one day, and she and I are both single at the time. She's engaged now. But she signed up on eHarmony, actually. And we're telling each other about our online dating experience. And so I say, "Hey, this is a person who I met on a dating app." And I show her the picture, and she says, "That is Shep. He's on Southern Charm. I'm a fan of Southern Charm." I'm like, "Yes, he is on a reality TV show called Southern Charm." She says, "Yes, my friends from the Corona Club," which is a club of older ladies who do philanthropic work here in the Bahamas, like ladies who are either widowed or retired. She says, "Yes, my friends from the Corona Club, we watch the show and we love the show." And I'm like, "Oh, that's great. Like, that's so cool." And I call Shep and I said, "Shep, apparently my grandma is a fan of the show." Had I watched every episode of the show? No. Was I interested in being on the show? No. At that point, I did watch the pilot of the show, but it didn't move the needle for me. It didn't make a difference for me. It wasn't end all be all. It wasn't, "Oh my God, Sienna, he's on this TV show, da da da." It was really more coincidental. And at that time, and presently, it didn't make a difference to me. I really didn't care that he was on reality TV. I had my own business here. I had my own life here. I was already signed to a major modeling agency. I was already traveling. I was already, single, like I said, single, having a good time, everything like that. So this discourse about, my grandmother putting me up to date Shep is also something that is untrue. Did we make a connection? Yes. Is she a fan of the show? Yes, she's still a fan of the show. When everyone came to the Bahamas, she ended up meeting them because she's a fan of the show and she loves the show. And Shep wanted to meet her. They did end up meeting, and she was very happy about that. But that had no bearing on any of the decisions I made or anything from my life or my relationship.
Maybe Giselle was right about Stacey, and everything we've been seeing from her has been a facade. Vivian helped dress Stacey for her charity event that we saw in the finale, and it looks like things have gone sour since. Stacey's basically upset that Vivian put her in an outfit that Ashley Darby had worn months before. She says she brought Vivian onto the show to give her exposure, so she expected better from Vivian. And Vivian is clapping back. She posted this lengthy Instagram caption that reads, "Thanks, Giselle, for asking who elevated who. The delusion of it all. Stacey is quickly unraveling her fraudulent self before our eyes. Stacey begged me to exclusively sponsor her event, to elevate it. Her words. By the way, I introduced Stacey to the Real Housewives of Potomac group. This is how she thanks me, shaking my head. Lying Stacey begged me for that outfit. I originally custom made that outfit for Ashley for a casual collaborative event. I offered Stacey another gown appropriate to her event, and she insisted on Ashley's outfit. I even showed her a pic of Ashley in it. My staff was present at the time of the conversation. Hey Stacey, you returned all the gowns smelling funky, shaking my head. Everyone will soon see you for your true colors. Fake, phony, fraud, the lies. P.S. Andy, I love how you called me Viv. I think we need to make Vivian a full-time housewife, especially if we're bringing Stacey back. What do you guys think about this drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Another cast member of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is pregnant. I'm Kajal Dashti. If you love all things reality TV and pop culture, hit the follow button for more stories. Michaela is now pregnant with her 4th child. She made the announcement on Instagram, writing, "Thought I'd finally announce the next step on my healing journey. Can't wait to love on this baby." We learned on the first season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives that Michaela was dealing with a chronic illness. That chronic illness being chronic eczema that had flared up all the way around her face, neck, and body. So this is obviously some really positive and great news she's sharing. And she's got another cast member she'll be pregnant with. Just last week, Jennifer Affleck announced that she's expecting her 3rd child with her husband, Zach. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 2 is supposed to drop this spring, so now it's just waiting for the trailer to drop. So boring, she's gonna host the Vanity Fair Oscar party live stream on March 2nd. And I love seeing this news because I get a ridiculous number of comments of people who are like, what does Paige even do? She should go to Charleston, get married to Craig. What is she waiting for? She's going to be co-hosting the Vanity Fair Oscar party live stream. That's a huge deal. This coupled with her and Hannah's Giggly Squad tour that's been sold out is honestly chef's kiss. Her and Hannah made the announcement in a very clever way with this promo that they posted on social media. Watch and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Why are you dressed like that?
Oh, why are you dressed like that?
It's comfortable.
Hannah, we did it. We're going to the Vanity Fair Oscar party on March 2nd.
Yeah, I know, you're on the email.
Oh, well, I don't look at those.
We're hosting the live stream. Wait, I'm getting a call from one of my other friends.
You don't have other friends.
Hello, ladies.
Hi, Tan.
Wow, bold choice of coat, Paige. So lovely to see you both. I'm glad you got the invite, and I'm so excited to be hosting Vanity Fair's Oscars party live stream with you both.
It's gonna be a great night. Do you have any advice for us?
Just remember, you are one. We are one.
Okay, we're gonna be fine. Oh, Tan, I have to go. I have another friend calling.
Hey.
Hey, Francesca.
Hi, Francesco Scorsese. How'd you get my number?
Oh my god, I cannot wait to join you guys as co-hosts for the Oscar party live stream.
We're so excited.
It's also so cute that they sent us this invite package with the prop from The Substance. I mean, it's so clever, right?
Did she say prop?
Yeah, I mean, it's been such an amazing year for international film in general. I loved all the nominees, but God, the documentary shorts were by far my favorite of the bunch. Which one do you guys hope wins?
No, we like over 6 foot.
We like them tall.
I gotta go. I'm actually about to go see The Brutalist for the 3rd time. So I'll see you guys at the live stream on March 2nd.
Wait, what's The Substance?
I don't think you should.
I thought it was Ozempic.
Blake Lively's publicist Leslie Sloan says she wants to be removed from Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit. Leslie argued in a legal filing today that it was not defamatory to tell a reporter that the entire cast of It Ends With Us hated director Justin Baldoni. Leslie, who represents Blake and her husband Ryan Reynolds, is accused in Justin's lawsuit of spreading the malicious falsehood that he was a predator in order to deflect attention away from Blake's behavior on set. According to the messages, Sloan denied that the issue had anything to do with Blake and warned the reporter not to trust Justin's Justin's camp. They are panicking as the whole cast hates him, she wrote. But in a motion to dismiss the suit, Sloan's attorneys argue that saying the cast hates Justin was a statement of opinion and therefore cannot be the basis of a defamation claim. They also argue that the claim was true and that Justin has admitted as much. In his complaint, Justin alleged that Blake had succeeded in getting the cast to shun him on social media by unfollowing his accounts. The Daily Mail reported on the Blake-Justin feud on August 9th, alleging that Justin had been, quote, borderline abusive towards some women on set. Justin accuses Sloan of having planted false and defamatory information about Justin to distract from Blake's numerous missteps. So in that motion to dismiss, Leslie's lawyers argue that all she's accused of doing is responding to a story that had been planted by Justin's team. Justin's suit also quotes a message from the Daily Mail reporter to one of Justin's publicists in December, in which the reporter states, quote, now she's saying Blake was S.A.'d. Justin's team argues that is proof that Sloan was escalating a false narrative against Justin. However, Leslie Sloan's attorneys argue that the reporter was referring to Blake's civil rights complaint and not anything Leslie had said. So far, Blake and Justin have refused to settle this lawsuit through mediation, so a trial is scheduled for March of next year.